Good morning, folks. Today is May 1st, and it went down to -4 Celsius last night. I'll tell you what it is right now. She's sitting at 0 right now, my truck says. So, yeah, not a warm start to May, that's for sure, but we'll come out of her. That's how it is around here. It takes a while to warm up. This weekend's supposed to be nice. Anyway, we're loading Scott's trailer right now. I was just in there helping get it started up, but now I'm gonna go and do another field boundary now that I kind of figured out what I'm doing. So yeah, this field's gonna be a lot bigger, and it's on a hillside. It's actually way over there. You guys obviously can't see it. I'm filming with a GoPro, so it doesn't have any. Anyway, it's over there, and it has quite a few terraces in it, so we'll have to map out those terraces. Even the tractor's confused. It's like, it's May, I don't have to use my glow plugs. And I tried to turn the key, we just turn the key on and the glow plug will come on here, but I don't know, it didn't want to initiate into the glow plug, so that was a hard start right there. But anyway, hopefully she warms up for a little bit. At least it started and I didn't have to boost it. Well, let everything get warmed up, and then we'll head to the field, start going. Field, see you there. Hey guys, so we almost get this field done, but we got lots of terraces, so we got to go mark those as internal boundaries, and then that's also, those terraces determine the contour that we work the ground, so that's where I'll set my track off of as well, is those terraces. We get our field made, and now we got to put terraces. They go like this, because this is all side hill. Yeah, pretty hilly country around here. So anyway, we're gonna get those internal boundaries put, and then I'll also make tracks on. Alright, so what I did is I did an interior barrier. I called it terrace 1 for the first terrace, and you can see it right there on the screen. That's our boundary, and I put a track up this side of it. I'll show you guys. There's the terrace right there. So I put the track on this side of it, so then we have a track for that. And by rights, we should be able to space it one width of the planter. Like, just skip a track and then plant this one here. But when I mark this terrace, I'm gonna make another track up the inside of it, just in case something doesn't work. And then that way we have different tracks that we can go off of for this field, because this field has this contour to it all the way up until that patch of trees, and then it just goes this way. But until then, it's got a curved contour to the terraces to keep it from washing, and it really does work. We have a Lemken Carrot that we actually demoed on this upper stretch of the field, and then we ended up buying one, a new one, little newer than the one we demoed, and also it was a little bigger, and we used it on this field, and I'm quite impressed with how it did. This was just grain stubble, but it was underseeded in red clover, and yeah, we just I'm really impressed actually with how it did on the field and what the ground looks like. It packs it down really well, and it didn't wash either. Like, you can see there's like a couple spots right there where it washed. That's just sprayer tracks. So like where the sprayer came and made the ground uneven after it did it. But other than that, like you can see here is a wash too, and that's just where the sprayer drove. Like that, those are sprayer tracks there. So like other than the tracks from the sprayer, like this field did not wash, and this is usually a pretty bad washer for us. So It's awesome to see good soil practices going to being put to use and then having great results. And as farmers, you know, it's really important to us to take care of our soil because that's what we make our living off of. And when you own land, you don't want your land washing onto your neighbor's land. This is topsoil. This is what our money comes out of, especially in potatoes. Like, our whole crop is grown in the ground, not even up over it. Like what we harvest is actually physically in the soil when we dig it. So it's really important for us to have healthy soil and have good soil practices. We're on to the last terrace on the back side of the field now. Getting the hang of it, which is nice. Now by rights, we've been going without GPS, so once we get these GPS boundaries in for one terrace, we should be able to use that same track, and then we can move our terraces kind of so they're all equal and we all have equal amounts on each side, because they're not right now because we haven't had the technology. But I'm still putting tracks for each one just in case we don't get them moved this year, because it takes some time to move terraces and usually you have to have a plow. So yeah, we probably won't be able to just hit this with the Vibrashank and get the grass ripped up and be able to put potatoes in them. That's not how it works. So had we had GPS in the fall when we did this with the carrot, we might have been able to get them right, but we didn't have it. We just got it this spring. So after we put potatoes on it, we can probably hit them and clean them up with the plow this fall and get the terraces set right. But until then, I'm doing boundaries off whichever is the longest side. So for this terrace behind you guys, this is the shorter side because this boundary here kind of goes up the side, so that one's longer. And so if you're gonna have some left over in your field where you're like, maybe it's only half the width of your planter, you want it to be on the shorter side, because then that turns into less acres lost, right? So I'm making the boundary, so I'll go up this side, or tracks I mean, but I'm making boundaries around these terraces. So I'll go up this terrace and make a boundary up this side. Then when I come down the other side, I'm gonna set a track down the other side for that next terrace. This terrace, I set the boundary for it over there on the longer side. But then once we get down to here, obviously this is longer than way over there is gonna be. So I'll set the track on this side, on the other side of the terrace when I go. For now, we gotta get her going. So I go down in here, I click on this. I don't know if you guys can see any of this or not. Probably this camera's annoying. I'll bring this down. I'll go back to here. So I go into applications, I go into field and boundaries. Then I should turn this off. And then I'm clicking, here's all my list. This is my exterior boundary, which is here. This one here is. Then this is then I have all my terraces that I've done so far. I've done 4 of them. So far I've done 4 terraces. You can see them, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right up in there. So this is the last and final terrace, and it's gonna be right about here. So I'm gonna add it in. It asks me what I want it named. Well, I don't want it called interior. I'm gonna go with what I've been calling them. And this one I will call Terrace 5. It is not, technically it's passable, but I don't want it to be. So I'm making it, I unclick the check mark here that says passable. My offset point is off the GPS. My offset is 6 feet. And it's right now it has my offset set to the left. I don't want that. I want it set offset to the right. So here's my picture. So now I'm gonna start recording. It's convenient. My GoPro has voice command, so when I said about this word right here, which I'm not gonna say because it'll stop again, it stopped. So it's kind of funny. Anyway, you guys back up there. Hopefully that's a good view for y'all. I don't know. I can't see. So all right. So we are doing that thing that I don't dare say. And the tractor beeps a little bit. Gotta get used to that. Anyway, here we go. I'm gonna turn on some tunes.
It's just a weapon and I look like static shock. One time for the dress, I got the lesson from my pop. Sometimes for the paper like the second Michael Scott. Surfacing.
Okay, now when I get to the end, I pause it. Oh, this is quite a hill right here. This here is a separate field. We work this field here this way. Eventually, maybe we'll make them into one field, but not yet. And then I'm gonna come down here. Here's my terrace going back down this way. See what your guys' view is. It's probably pretty easy. So, come down to here. I'm gonna snip you guys off again. Ooh. Okay, so I got it paused right now. I'm gonna hit record, just so, because it won't let me back to this screen once I go to my next one. I exit, that's still recording. I made sure. I'm gonna set a new track. Terrace 5, that was my track for over there. So I'm adding one more new track. I gotta do an AB curve because there's a curve to this. And I'm gonna call this one Terrace. What was the name of this terrace? Well, this is the 6th section over here. This is there's only 5 terraces, but that means that there's 6 sections technically. So I'm gonna call this one Terrace 6, and since it has a 6-foot interval on it, I'm gonna call it Terrace 6 Planter. There. So then we can have different tracks with different intervals. Our seed drill is 30 foot, case seed drill, and our planter's only 12 foot 4-row. So there, okay, so I put the name in. It's gonna let me start recording. Track spacing's 12 foot. Start. Okay, so now we're recording our boundary, but we're also recording a track now. Alright guys, we're at the end of our track down here. We hit done. There's our new track. All those lines are our tracks that we can go off of. Yeah, we go back to fields and boundaries here. Here's our last terrace that we put in. We'll save that. Boundaries active for use. We'll go to our field. So we've got, there's our exterior boundary, and then there's all 5 of our terraces. So we got our external boundary, and then see if we can see them there. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 terraces. Like I said, I have a track on each one of these terraces, but by rights, I should have the one track here, and we should be able to go off that track on these 3. Then see, obviously the field changes up a little bit. We have a clump of trees right here. And then if we had another track, which I took off this one, by rights we should be able to use this track for all these terraces as well. And then now what I gotta do is I gotta set a track along this headland, because we usually plant the bottom of this. And then I'll set a track up this headland, because this curve here leaves us a little bit of, maybe like 12 rows or so, right? Hey guys, so we got this field all done. We're just coming down the hill. way over there, those buildings. That's where we rack and cut seed. Those are our potato houses over there. My grandfather's place is over this way. So I'm gonna head over there, and then we're gonna drive in the truck over to there, and we're gonna cut seed. Glad to have this field done. I think I really got a lot of kinks worked out of my whole GPS knowledge. So anyway, I'm kind of happy and glad I'm starting to figure all this out. So yeah, anyway, should have all of our russet Burbank seed cut by the end of today if everything goes right. So that would be amazing, and that's all the seed we have hauled home so far. We still have to go get some more, but that would mean that we couldn't cut any more till we hauled more home. So that might mean that after we get that cut, that we'll be on to getting some equipment ready, which is something that's needed quite badly. We don't have any of our tillage equipment hooked on yet, so it'd be good to get all that stuff hooked up. Anyway, I'll catch you guys at the potato house. Well, we're waiting for David to come. He just comes right here. David brought some refreshments for this fine occasion. Anyway, right now he's running out to get the tractor, and I'm just coming to grab the clevis for it, which this, I believe, is the one. Just looking to see if there's any other options. Not that I see, so this must be the one. What are you doing? I'll get him to back right up to here. We'll throw that pup on. Size of those. We'll get a ratchet to fit those too. Clevis is on. David's heading out the dooryard. I'm taking the 1/2 ton. Gonna go meet him down where we store our machinery. This be her. Big old sunflower. Yeah, looks good. A little bit more. Oh, right there. Alright, we got her hooked up. Dave's gonna take her back to the shop. Oh man, that hits the spot.